All right, here we go.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Sociable.
Cheers. Sociable. The water today, being good.
Root beer. Root beer here. Root beer.
All right, we're all here. Let's get into it. What's
Yeah.
up, everyone? We're back again for another Razor Company Live coming at you for another Artisan Spotlight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on a Friday night, and this is going to be a good time. So, joined by two amazing hosts. Guys, introduce yourself.
I'm Peter.
I'm J-Mac. Every
Nice.
Friday night we bring you guys the biggest names in wet shaving. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Florian from Dovo.
Nice. Yes. So, couldn't be more excited. We'd learn as much as we want to be able to learn about Dovo. Talking with Florian, they've been in the game since 1906, and we're just very excited. So let's dive in. So by all means, Florian, go ahead. Little brief history on the company, and tell us about yourself, bud.
Yeah, so I'm 36 years old, and I'm shareholder and doing marketing and sales for Dovo. So I'm part of the board also as well.
Nice.
Since 3 years ago. So probably heard about the news about Dovo. So Dovo got bankrupt in the first case, 2021, and I was actually before on that with Dovo together. So and I take the chance to gamble people together, and so we took the chance to get to Dovo, and so here I am to continue the actually 100 years of history of Dovo. So basically Dovo is over 100 years old, 1906 to be exact, and we're doing straight razors, cutlery, and the highest quality you can imagine. And yeah, now we continue this, and lots of new things going to happen actually. That's
Very nice.
That's Dovo, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, J-Mac.
All right. Well, I guess I'll start off with an easy one. Are you a wet shaver, and do you use straight razors?
Okay, easy question. Yes, I am. Now I have a beard, but as you see here, I have lots of private collection razors. So
Nice.
yeah, I have them all, and I like them, and I shave traditional way.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's awesome. Go ahead, Peter.
So one of the questions that I had, and maybe what are some of the general business challenges that Dovo has faced pre and post pandemic, aside from the bankruptcy and liquidation? What if you had to pick like one thing on each side of 2020? What would those things be?
Yeah. So basically, it's manufacturing straight razors is a complex business. It's not a rocket science, but yeah, it's a lot of handmade parts in it. So nearly 80% of the razor is handmade. So there's no machine that makes a razor and it's ready to shave. So it's done by hand, by craftsmen, and they take lots of experience and knowledge and years to know how the business goes and how they grind a razor. So if somebody works 1 year, there's not even possible that he can continue or finish a razor. So he needs at least 3 years. So, and to create like a manufacturing process out of a knowledgeable process, and also creating like, imagine we have 3 people now coming up, or 2 who grind straight razors in our factory. So, and you have to scale a bit the business to exist as a straight razor company, to fulfill the people's needs. So they wanted to have the best razors, but you also have to continue on volume. So because we are not like an artisan shop where we produce every once a week high-end razor. So it's between creating top edge stresses and also getting numbers out, and that's a bit of the issue. And I think the challenge is also pre-pandemic and before. As you probably know, our razors are not really cheap razors to buy, so they cost starting from hundreds dollars, and so it's hard to convince people to buy a product that's very expensive, and you have to give them also the proof that it's worth this kind, and also scale up the production so that you imagine that everybody can have a razor when he wants to have one. So that's the production difficulties. And and there was in 2012 a huge hype about James Bond. Probably you know this year where
Yeah.
they used actually a Dovo razor. It's a fun story. Probably I can talk about that later. And the peak numbers were so high, and they produced lots of them. And then they also cut down of quality control. So that was a huge mistake in the years before the pandemic, basically, and they cut quality control and issues. So this is what we said. Okay, after pandemic, you cannot go the way to sell a high price razor and want to be the best in your business, and you have to keep up the game and really make this a special product that everybody, when he looks at it, is proud of owning one. So that's the challenge. And yeah, of course, every business has struggles, and it's keeping the numbers out. So we have quite nowadays a bit of lack of personnel to make them. So demand is good, but yeah, as putting a lot of them out on the market is a bit of the issue right now.
Yeah, I can imagine that finding skilled workers in that realm is very, very difficult. So when you find a good one, you have to like really not incentivize them, but really value them as an employee and sell them on the benefits of sticking around and learning a true trade, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when we are a lot like young people nowadays in Dovo as well. And I mean, company policies was old days was like, not like we are a team together, so we're building this together. So it was more like typical hierarchy in an old school company, and this doesn't do well on items where everybody is because when the persons who's getting after the grinding the razors is not happy with the results, then they have to play as a team to succeed on of getting a great razor out of the street.
So speaking on that, can you kind of run us through your product line? What you got going on?
Yeah, basically we have straight razors. So straight razors is like our core product. We make them by hand in Solingen, our new manufactory in Solingen. So they divide between several collections. So nowadays we cut them down to collections. We have the best quality. It's actually here. This was basically also my first razor. I bought them about 12, 15 years ago when I was a student, not working for Dovo. It was my first razor, and it's the best entry for starters. It has the same edge, has the same kind of properties of a blade as an expensive one, probably not like as refined as a Bismarck or as a Bergische Löwe, but really good start to work on. Then we have middle class razors as the Dovo Prima, for example, and then now we are getting to the Bismarck, which is really one of our favorite products. It's even one of my beloved razors, as it's really an icon nowadays. It's a heavy razor. It's a 6/8 razor. It's a timeless razor as well. So yeah, this is one of my favorite as well. I have it also in black. Then we have also, a lot of people know about that. We had actually was an old school pocket knife, but probably
nice.
we are really developing something on that. We have comms. We have now, as you probably know, our new safety razor, the Primo. It's took a lot of time to get on the street. 3 years now. We have scissors for beards and hair, like this one. That's a scissor for hair cutting, and also we have now manicure sets as clippers, for example, for hair brushes. So you can combine it to everything for men's grooming. So that's basically our product line, and core product is the straight razor.
Very nice. You can outfit barbers too, because you got the razors there, as well as the like you said, combs, and you got the scissors.
Chafette, yeah, Chafette. You mentioned probably Chafette is like the exchangeable blade, so you can remove the blade with double edge. You can break them apart, and then you can. This is the barber's tool that is also very successful. The Dovo Chafette, basically.
Nice. Go ahead, J Mac. What you got? But
So take the audience through some of the steps it takes to make a quality straight razor? I mean, a few of us know, but I'm sure quite a lot of the audience kind of hasn't really delved into that. So it'd be interesting to hear how a Dovo razor is made from start to finish.
Yeah, so basically you need steel. That's the essence of a good razor. And from steel you can go with stainless steel and carbon steel. So it's important where you can go. I prefer myself carbon steel. It's a religion thing also on the forums. Carbon steel is much crispier as stainless steel. It's the way to go. So even if you are afraid of stains, take a carbon steel. It performs much better than stainless. You can also shape with stainless, but carbon steel is the way to go. Yeah, you get a stainless, get a carbon steel. We use the typical silver steel. It's a pretty old steel on the market. It's refined over the last decades. It's in business since I think 100 years, over 100 years. The steel, and the steel has nice properties. It's flexible. It's really hard. You can heat it up to make it hard to 62 Rockwell like that. It's very flexible, so it has the best properties for making a straight razor. You have to we forge them, so we don't cut them out of a board. So we make them really by a 40-ton forge in Solingen, and then we harden the blankets. Basically, they come out of the forge. Hardening part is also very tricky, because when you harden blades, it's important that because metal is like formed into a structure when they get hardened. So, and when you harden them by quenching them in oil, or then they sometimes get a bit of turning into the steels. So because of heat, and so this is one of the essence steps. So you have to be careful of hardening them, as they have to be exact straight. Even a small dent or a small thing will ruin the blades and his essence. And then you go up to the grinding steps. And grinding steps are the crucial steps where you get the normal angles on the razor. Then you go to grinding steps, to the hollow grindings. We use full hollow ground. That's a high basically it's you ground first time, and then you go a second time, and this is a full hollow ground. So you have two cuts basically with the grinding stones. And then it's up to making fine grinding again, and grinding, and then you're going up by polishing, and then sharpening, then honing, and so then you go on the leather, and so then you have blade, and then you have of course all the handles as from wood. You have to prepare them, but the essence is the steel on the blades.
Wow. Then you have, like you said, at the end there, you have somebody that's there manually doing like the honing and the strop and everything like that, getting it set.
Yeah.
Every individual piece.
We have machines that are about over 100 years old. So the master grinders have to know which kind of, how thin they get with the steel, because when it's too thin, they get they break easily in the next step. Of course, we also have some parts with CNC, but the CNC machine is not capable of, because every part is also from the forge has to be exact the same angles, and the machine can of course hone first step, but you have to the second or in a third step on some models you have to do it manually all the time.
So that's the same forge that's been there, right?
Yeah, so the forge is, this is good old forge. We don't have a forge in-house. We have a partner in Solingen that forges our steels.
Nice. That's so cool.
It's
Cool.
Forging is like really the fire, heat. It's awesome to be there.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome to see.
Yeah.
If you guys ever do a factory tour, we would love to come.
We have now the possibility to go. You're invited.
Hear that, boys? We're going on a road trip.
All right. Go.
Go ahead, Peter. What do you got, bud?
So what makes solid Silogen steel better than Sheffield?
Sheffield, I think, lost its glory days last century. To be honest, Sheffield was a good name for good razors. Also in France, you have this tier region. Solingen has like is the capital of cutlery in Germany, at least, or probably in Europe, where every kind of things has related to some kind of steel, knives, swords, and everything together. So, and of course, when you have like this kind of work around, then it's easy to find better people probably, and you have connections with other companies as well. So you combine knowledge, and you live this kind of business basically.
Mm-hmm.
Some people in the audience that are native from the UK getting a little riled up.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch a little bit of grief after this live, boys.
It's all fun and games, so it's all right.
That was kind of a fun question, but I would like to for the rookies in the audience, can you show the Roan again?
Please repeat.
Your the Roan.
The Roan.
The DE that you showed earlier. The new one.
The Primo. This
Primo,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it. Is it like is it fairly aggressive razor, adjustable, 3-piece?
No, it's basically it's a non-adjustable. It's a fixed blade, and we want to keep it fixed blade as it's easier to get into this topic of safety shaving. And we had also an idea about the angles on this razor. If you look at it, it's a completely new design on new angles of a razor. So it's not like a copycat of something. So it's a complete new idea of this safety razors, and it has some features that other don't have. So it's completely manufactured in Germany, so around Solingen. It's a complete in-house design, so it's not like an import-export. So it's completely our design. Is also our philosophy in this razor. So because when you look at the old safety razors there on the market, though sometimes they're very aggressive, sometimes they are very, very sensitive, whereas normal people with a stronger beard really have to stroke 5 times over the same part. And also some people took them as a body razor. So the idea was it has to be capable of shaving longer hairs. That is normal, because I also sometimes shave, not every day. And also it has to be made in Germany. Then it also has to be 90 grams. So it was for us the perfect size. And it also has a new coating. It's called Chrome 3 coating. That's also a new sustainable form of coating. And this makes it basically, it's an aggressive razor. I think it's an aggressive razor, but it's still smooth. So that's the best phrase I heard from customers so far. It's aggressive, but still smooth. So it will cut through long hairs, thick hairs, but it is still for your skin smooth. So this is also my personal experience that I used it first with this prototype. It was a match, and it's really great to shave with that.
So when will we see this come to market? We'll be able to see it here.
We had like 3 years now of finishing everything up, so it took us over 3 years. As you can think, okay, why is it complicated to make a safety razor? But first of all, it's really bulletproof design, so it has a very long screw in it, so it's completely one part, so it's nothing together, so you cannot break it. So I can promise here, because some people make them too strong together. So when you can bend it, it's nearly indestructible. So that's the first thing. It should be long lasting. So you can smash it on the ground. We tested it, everything. It will last. Then it should be spotless from the finish. So if you see here all the chrome finish, I don't know if you see details. There's no marks, no nicks, no nothing. So the chrome finish is perfect. And this took us so long to get to the market. Yeah.
Nice. I
Nice.
dig it.
We're excited to see it for sure.
Yeah, and now we had a long backlog of orders, and now we putting them out. So we now are capable of also getting yours and getting them out on the market.
Very nice.
Excellent.
And you guys have a DE blade now, right?
We have them for longer, actually, and they're great blades. So they're of course not the cheapest, but I think they are really, because I myself test a lot of blades also on the market. So I'm not like in my ivory tower and Dovo and hey, our blades are the best. They for certain are like more aggressive blades as the feather blades, for example. I think Dovo blades are really, from the smoothness, one of the best. Then they are mild, so mild and sensitive. But if you really have coarse hair, probably and aggressive, then the feather is better. But for the most persons I heard, the Dovo blades really works great.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. And Jason has them here too, the DE blades already on the site. So, but yeah, people are like itching and scratching to see when that safety razor hits. So,
Oh yeah.
they're very excited to check them out. So go ahead, J-Mac. What do you got there, bud?
Yes. So, what would be some of the advice you would give to new users of your products? So, especially the newer straight razor shaver.
I think patience is, the first thing. You should take patience, not Monday mornings. I think after the first coffee and you get stressed, you shouldn't take a straight razor for the go.
Yeah.
Probably start on Sundays, or even if then lock your bathroom so nobody can fear you. So you should take your personal time. For me, when I take a straight razor, it's always like a bit of it's a bit of a meditation, basically. So if you lock your doors, it's your place. You're holding your razor, you strop them. Take patience, and then you should start for new users on straight surfaces, as for example the cheeks are easy to shave. You can also start working on your arm hairs. It's always works good if you don't have the feeling about angles. You can work here and feel the angle, when the angle of attack is basically for the razor. And then it's a mastering a technique. So it takes some time to learn. It's not like you have it to learn tomorrow. Some people can do, but some have to learn it a long way.
Yeah.
But it's a hobby, so
definite Zen mode. Like like I said, that's part of the reason why we do it. That's our self-care, self-pampering time. Time to unplug. So go ahead, Peter. What do you got?
Yeah, just on that point, for the beginner straight razor, right? Or when you begin that journey, for me, it was, I tried for a couple months and I just wasn't getting it. So I just put it away for a little while and just kind of keep coming back to it, repeating, right? So, one of my favorite razors, honestly, in my den is this best quality. It's, and I have several straight razors, but this is the one, if I'm gonna shave and I'm in somewhat of a hurry, I know that razor. I know its tendencies. I know its angles. I like to say that every straight razor is like one of your kids. They're all different, right? I mean, there's those little nuances and whatnot. And I think for a beginner, this is a fantastic razor. And what I really like about it is the jimping on the top and bottom of the blade, just to give that little bit of extra stability. So, I don't know. That really wasn't a question. It was more of a comment, but it's just.
It's funny you mentioned the jimping. I really wish more manufacturers would actually include that, the jimping on the top and the bottom. I mean, it seems like such a small, minute thing, but I mean, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean, I've got several straight razors that don't have jimping at all, top or bottom, and it just drives me bananas because I'm always afraid that I'm just going to do that one little like that, right? When you're going along your jawline or whatever. So, do you offer like beginner sets, like a razor finishing stone strop, that kind of thing?
Um,
altogether?
we were working on that now, so I be testing a lot now. So yeah, I have my choice what I use, and now we try to assemble a set for beginners, and
Nice.
we're a bit of both sides as people. Yeah, uh, it's a difficult story with sharpening stones, as there really a religion on that, and I
Oh
always
yeah.
fear a bit when you teach somebody sharpening stones, and more people will destroy a blade as they sharpen the blade. I get so many requests, or we get so many requests for sharpening and fixing messed up stones. But in the end, I think we will offer a stone kit in next future. That's for sure. As yeah, the people who know the ones to have the best stone for the Dovo razors.
So, Angela, just real quick. So, out of your
You got it,
entire
Brett?
lineup of straight razors, what's the number one seller for Dovo worldwide?
The Bismarck is and the Prima Dovo Prima and the Bismarck are really one of the best sellers. Yeah,
Nice.
the Bismarck is now really out of stock, or even so we're really making them, and we have to make them a lot. And I mean the Bismarck is it's that icon, I think, and the best quality is the entry, and it's good for retail shops. But when you have a gold and when you spend a little bit more, you have with the Bismarck yeah, heavier razor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to spend a couple extra francs if I can, or marks rather, if I can get a good quality blade in my hand, you know?
Yeah, that one's been on my wish list for a long time. It's gonna be in the collection at some point. The Bismarck is just like an iconic, and it's funny. It's actually one of those straight razors. Like, you know, you could probably talk to, you know, people that are in the hobby that aren't necessarily into wet shaving, and you would just mention the word Bismarck, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's straight razor." Like, it's just one of those things.
Yeah,
Nice. One of those iconic type of deals.
Oh,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
even.
yeah.
I think it's so successful as many people start with probably with the best quality, but the Bismarck is an product what you try at the second step, or yeah, you have to invest a bit more, and it's not like an easy entry to the Bismarck, I think.
Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
So, as far like with the products and stuff like that, so how has like modern technology now played a role with Dovo? You know, 'cause like I said, you guys have been operating since 1906, so you know advances and stuff like that. You know, in the manufacturing, everything. But yeah, so how is like now modern technology now kind of like worked its way with Dovo?
It's two parts basically. From manufacturing, it doesn't has a huge impact as we make them since the old days. So this is quite. Of course, we added some quality measuring steps that are now more tech based. So that you can more improvement, more accuracy. This today that we use for measurement tools, for example. But from the manufacturing, we are really it's an old school business. So of course, safety razors is a bit of other part, but because there you have 3D models and models to build and techniques of lasering and such things. But we have a laser also. That's probably our most modern item where we laser our razors, and this is probably the most modern piece what we use for production.
Nice, keeping it old school. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it works, why change, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and no machine can do the angles as a craftsman. So that's the point. So if you have, because when you look at, I mean, I see a lot of razors every day, and if you look them, you can see a bit of difference between them. So they're not even in the same sizes always, and it's minor changes, and this makes it unmakeable for machines yet to change this. And I think when you probably have to go when you look at our production sometimes when you go over to Solingen, it's quite often I like to go there and look at the people and it's you open the door and you know, hi, this is a real business what we do. So it's not like an import export, and it's a real business. It's a huge fun to work with. Why change it?
Exactly.
I know we would be in heaven if we were there checking it out.
You might have to pat
all three
me
of us
down
for
before I
sure.
left.
You can help us
I
out
know,
making
right?
Bismarcks.
That'd be so cool. Go ahead, J-Mac. What you got?
Oh geez, I'm gonna draw a blank here. Oh boy. Shoot, Peter. Let me think of another question. You go.
Well,
Take it away.
I was hoping that you'd ask so I could think of something. So, but I do have one question. So, what's been your career path to where you are today? What did you start right with Dovo, or I mean, how did you kind of end up in the position where you are?
Good story. I worked for some e-commerce companies in Berlin and also I met Jens there. Jens is the CEO of Dovo. Is a good friend of mine, and we worked there for watches, a company for watches. We worked there, and then I had a marketing agency. And as I told you, I'm a huge enthusiast. Before, as a little boy, nearly as a girl of beard, I wanted to have a straight razors, and so I contacted them, Dovo, and then I took over some marketing activities for them. I think from 2018, and since then I worked creating a new online shop. So I digitalized basically all of the items, and so I get an insight of what's going on. And yeah, then 2021, and then I think I thought the chance had to be that we took Dovo and save it to be history. Yeah, this is basically my career, nearly working now some years in Dovo now.
That's great.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, thank you for helping resurrect for all the appreciation.
To be honest, it's not about the money, or it's really it's when you take over a company that's over 100 years old and you open things and you see, okay, this is really old school, and you have to change certain things because you don't. It was bankrupt because of a case of mismanagement, and you have to fix this sometimes. And it's more enthusiastic work, as it's enthusiastic work. We really work long hours for this, and when I'm Solingen, we really stay long hours there till 12 o'clock or something. But it's fun. I like it. So if you're going to the old school races and look at them, and okay, this is nice, and we found some scales again from Mother of Pearl or something like that. So it's like a little child in a candy store, basically.
That's so
Nice.
awesome. You got something, Jay? Go ahead, J-Mac.
So you mentioned earlier, Dovo did have some issues with quality control back a few years back. So what have you guys done to kind of mitigate that and bring Dovo back up, as one of the premier razor manufacturers?
Yeah. First, you have to be start step one, looking over every process, how this is going to be made. Because if you making 100 years long same straight razors, there could be some, you get sleeping over something, I guess. And so we took every step. So we fixed things with the forge. I think as I told you, we had much more tight tolerances now with the forge as with the bending of hardening, for example. We make tests nowadays. We tested also with steels. So we tested out which steel can be improved. Is the steel the best we can use? To be honest, it's the best steel you can use also nowadays. It's also, I think, a fantastic that even a 100-year-old steel can compete with modern steels. Took over every step, talk to people, work with the people, motivate people to be part of a great company. And when you motivate them, also quality improves as well. We get also a lot of customers and people going nowadays to our factory, so they talking to us as well. They keep us informed, and they give us long hard sometimes feedback on our products, and most time they're really, really great, but also sometimes they're not happy. And this also gets, of course, heard by us and acknowledged. So this is, I think, quality control. And now we also testing with different honing methods. Now we have a knife maker that helps us making, for example, we have this special editions nowadays where we have influence of new prototypes coming into old products. So lots of things actually everything.
Nice.
No, it's
to make it better.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys really went right back to the beginning and just
you have to I mean
everything.
yeah, because when you, for example, mirror polishing carbon steel, it was done in the 50s, 60s, and if you see this old technique of mirror polishing carbon steel, is a hell of a job, as it's getting blurry. And with our latest version of this straight razor, this is called Dovo Edo. That's the newest one that we have, where it has mirror polished surfaces. So you have to reinvent basically all techniques. And our goal was also to make the thinnest one. So it's probably a fun fact, probably don't know that our goal is to make the razors about 0.1 millimeter thin. So that's I don't know what's this in inch, but better comparison is to a butterfly's wing. The thickness of a butterfly's, we are a bit above that,
Peter.
but this is the normal thinness of the thinnest part, not the edge. It's like the sole. It's called the sole. Is the thinnest part. It's about 0.1 to 0.2 millimeters thin. That's the dimension we're talking about. This precision.
Wow.
I'm just gonna say it. That's crazy.
Yeah, and when you imagine, you have to hand grind this. Then you cannot measure it. You have to hand grind, feel it, and then you know, okay, this is the right thickness.
Wow. All by hand.
The mastery of the grinder and the honer just must be indescribable. I don't know how else to put it.
It is, and it is really not a process that you can write down. You have to do thousands of razors to learn the deal about making them. You have in the beginning you have lots of waste material, as it's so hard to make them so thin. Yeah,
it's such a huge investment on your part to bring somebody in that you think is going to make it, right? I mean, they've got all the qualities on paper, and now you're putting a huge investment and leap of faith into a single person.
It is.
That you hope will stay.
It is, yeah. You have to find them as well, and it's not like, I mean, in Solingen there are about 5 people making straight razors, and 5 people can make them. So this is a handful of a city of 120,000 people can work this grinding technique. So or this fine grinding technique, and this is like you have to educate them. You have to get them when they're young and educate them. This is a bit of the trickiest thing. You have to invest lots of time to educate this process. Yeah.
So if you only have 5, what's the average age?
As we don't have 5, we have now 3 in October. So 2 works at the competitors, or 1 is Ralf Aust and Wacker, one of them.
Okay.
And 1 is at Böker, I think, or 2. And yeah, this is the wall of fine grinders in Solingen. The name is called Pliester. It is the German word for, I don't know this, and it's fine grinder in English.
Oh
I'm blown away.
Masters, just pure masters. That's so awesome.
I'm still thinking about the 0.01 millimeters.
Yeah, it's and if you see from the 50s, the blades, they were really made then because they invested so many man hours in a razor as today. And our goal is back to as thin as this. There was, I think, our master grant told me they had to put 50% of the razors to waste, because you when you go too thin, they're waste, and then you have forged them, grinded them, and make them to rise till they are in this spot of this production.
So
Wow.
it's not like you can just go back and melt that steel. Am I correct?
No,
After it's been forged?
you grind them. You have 16 steps, about rough 16 big steps, and if they're on the step 10, they get wasted to get too thin or too hot, because when they get too hot, the hardness gets lower,
Right.
and then they waste. So and then then you have lots of waste created. Then yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
So you have taking the time and everything, quality, all of that.
Yeah.
Means something. Because you eliminate the amount of waste steel. So.
I mean, it's not the huge issue, because when you buy a razor from us, it's not the steel what's expensive. It's really the creating the thinness and the art to make it so thin. As when you hear it, the sound, for example, this pitching sound, or here's this is a much thinner one. This is like the this is what you want to hear, and you make them.
Make them sing.
Right.
Exactly.
Good
Yeah.
singer.
I love hearing this.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, I'm gonna check out. We got some
So this is one better.
questions
Yeah.
from the audience.
My best razor.
Oh, that one's real nice. That one rings right out. Oh,
Yeah, this is one of the flagships that we have.
oh,
All
that
right.
one.
So I got a couple questions here from the audience. One, is it possible to make a titanium blade? A titanium straight?
That's a good question. We have made a titanium razor, but not the blade. The blade is mostly made of steel. We had used titanium for the handle. Titanium is most titanium is like an alloy, so you have mixture of things together, and titanium has the advantage. It's very light and it's stretchable. Also, it can how's it said? And it can last stress, but it's not like a really crispy material as carbon steel. So it's not possible to make a titanium blade that is. You can, I think, get them up to 45 TRC. So they will be soft. You can shave this 1-2 times, but then resharpening will be a mess with that.
Yeah. So it's the maintenance more than anything.
And it's a super hard metal too, so it'd probably be pretty tough to hone.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the
there's
first place.
crazy.
So.
Yeah, it's not that hard as carbon steel. Carbon steel is much harder as titanium. Titanium is more resistant against impacts or stress, so it's torsion can resist more torsion. So if you compare it to steels and crispy, this is crispy. It's very hard, so you can flex it a bit, but the titanium is can withstand much more moisture. It's also used as slider. You can use this in aircraft and satellites, and so yeah, we would if we could, but it's not possible.
So this is a two-part question. Does Dovo make a full wedge blade? And then also, what size blade would you recommend for a beginner?
We don't have a real wedge. As wedge, I would say it's like this type. We have a 3/8 blade with a light hollow ground in it. That would I consider as a wedge, but we don't have a wedge. It doesn't make sense for shaving, as it's really, it doesn't make sense. It's rough. It isn't, because this blade cannot adapt to your skin, and it will be brutal to use. The second question is a good question. It's a bit of matter of taste. To be honest, 6/8 have advantage if on full shaving. On straight surfaces, they're heavier. They deal better with hair, while a 5/8 is probably more maneuverable below the nose. And if you do contours, 5/8 is more nimble. So straight lines is 6/8. Areas with contouring 5/8. I worked with a 5/8 pretty well, but 6/8 has a bit of majestic feeling using a one.
Nice. Yes. Yes, the people who want that big.
And coming
um,
actually.
You know,
I do
honestly,
have one. I have an 11/8 razor. It's interesting.
we
you
ha-
know,
we
I imagine it would be tough to see, right? Once you go above 6/8, getting that sight
um
line.
we make a
That's
absolutely we make an 8/8 razor now, so it's in prototyping now. 8/8 razor. It's what the sound is like. It's like a bell. It's like thin as hell and sounds like awesome, but it's hard to see. Yeah, that's true. It's hard to see.
oh my goodness.
that's not a beginner.
Yeah.
No, that's not from the
You
beginning.
have
Well,
So
to.
funny you mentioned that, Peter. So with my 11/8, like if I'm doing the the left side of my face which is where the eye that I have that works, when it's on my face, literally I can't see anything but blade. Like I can't see in the mirror
Yeah,
at all. It's
Yeah,
just blade. Like I
it's
mean
total
the
leap of
blade,
faith.
it's about that tall. It's huge.
yeah. It looks fantastic. You can make really nice pattern on it, so you can some nice laserings and it's you can do a lot of that.
it's a big
Oh
canvas.
Yeah.
So you offer regular tours, and then this Chris from Carp, he says, I was in Germany for, if I'm saying it wrong, Messe this year, and I might go again next year. So if he's in the area, do you offer regular tours?
We don't do regular tours, but if you ask us on Instagram and we are on time, of course you can visit by and have a short call or talk with us. So it will be not a huge extensive tour, about 4 hours probably, but we're working on that as well. So we do some seminars with shaving. That's the idea what we do. But ask us and we find something.
Nice. If you stop by, Chris, you figure it out.
Yeah, it's always
um,
nice to talk to the same persons to have the same idea. So and it's
nice. One person here says it's not really a question, just complimenting on the accent. Bravo. Has anything in the manufacturing changed since the like I said, since the transition, since you guys stepping in?
on the manufacturing. The major steps are the same as before. I think there's now more cautious about the things we want to have. Um, for example, cautious is more higher than I think before, but the same steps as before.
Yeah,
From
quality, right? Quality control.
yeah, and in the end steps we testing over some different honing stones, but it's not a huge impact on the manufacturing side. Probably the new Razor Edo that we have that took us some more steps to improve because it's a new design that we worked on, and so it was a complete new steps to implement.
Very nice. All right. And yes, I think that's everybody I got caught up. So one question that I do have was, so for you yourself, because I know you, like you said, kind of like a kid in a candy store. So Florian, what is probably one of the most rewarding aspects of your job?
Yeah, it's the best job, funnest job ever. So last time we had visits from our knife maker there. I think we were at the company until 1 o'clock and talking about different ideas we have. So it's great.
It's not
like
really work
all the
if you
different
love it, is it?
Repeat, please.
It's not really work if you love it, right?
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that you don't love for sure. But of course now it's talking to you is also probably work, but it's not really work for me. So it's enjoying the hobby, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, that's why we all do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Did you have anything, J-Mac?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do you have an ethos or a philosophy that helps you that helps you kind of propel Dovo back to the top of the game?
I think yes. We have now official ethos, but Jens, of the CEO of us, is also more or less in the production cycle, and I think there the ethos would be details matter. That's I think hated and loved at the same time in the company. This phrase.
Nice.
It's really detail. In the detail is that's details matter is perfect.
Nice. Well, yeah, Peter.
It's not really even a question. It's just a comment. Thank you to you and Jens and the rest of the crew for saving a company that's just iconic in wet shaving and straight razors in particular. So thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Nice to hear.
So when you're not working, Florian, what do you like to do for fun?
So I have I have lots of sharpening things. So kitchen things is also mine. So I love kitchen knives as well. Yeah, running, shooting. That's my hobbies actually.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Heck yeah. So you did mention that besides straights and then now the new the DE. So you said cutlery as well.
As a cutlery in the form of not really cutlery for eating, cutlery as the term for the types of things like a scissor or this is for cutlery. I meant for cutlery.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I just want to make sure. There's a few chefs in the audience and also one host. So I always kind of perked up a little bit when he mentioned cutlery. He's like, oh.
Yeah, it's. We thought about that, but it's would be too many new fields to open.
That would
be a lot. Yeah. So, J-Mac, you have anything?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is an interesting question. It's one of those things. We ask every artisan. If you had to start over again, what would you do differently? But I guess you guys are in a unique position. You basically kind of almost had to start over again coming into the bankruptcy. So barring that, is there anything else you would have done differently, or would you have just done the steps that you've done to get back to this point?
Good question. Of course you would do a lot of things different, because when you test new things out and then you fail a lot of times. So because when you have a working clock that you took over and you have to improve this clock and then implement new things is always hard, and even for us it's like you fail sometimes or talk much longer. For example, the safety rate, it took 3 years, so it's you waste a lot of cash also on inventing this, and so that's this. I think also the details, what I meant is also what you don't know, what sometimes are more difficult as they seem to be.
Right.
That's actually basically I would change a lot of if I would start again. That's for sure.
That's definitely fair.
Go ahead, Peter. What do you got, bud? You all right?
Yeah. So
he's still starstruck. Sorry, Florian.
Yeah. I'm going to go completely opposite. And this one backfired on me when I asked Johnny at Lothar this. But what's your favorite what's your football club of choice?
FC Bayern München. I live in the south of Bavaria too, so I am a fan of Bavaria, FC Bayern. Yeah.
That's great.
There you go.
I'm an Arsenal fan myself, but
yeah, nice. I like Arsenal.
I've got my eye on Bayern though, because my buddy moved over there 2 years ago, I think it was, and he's in that same general area. And I said, "You got to get to a match. Just please, for the love of God, just do it for me. Just go to one pro match in Europe."
Yeah. Yeah, the atmosphere is really nice there. So before I was often going, but nowadays not that much as I want to.
Well, that's my hope if I ever make it over to Europe, is to attend a professional football match for sure.
Yeah, that's absolutely a fantastic atmosphere. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't really care about the game, to be honest. I just want to be amongst the people and
Yeah,
see all the mates.
yeah. Sing
Just go to
and
hang out.
cheering up.
That'd be
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah.
So when all three of us road trip to Germany to go stop by and
Yeah.
to Dovo
Yeah,
and Florian, and we'll go catch a match
Yeah, we'll
after.
go to Bayern, and then we'll catch the one at Arsenal, and Liverpool is not going to happen. Sorry, Rob.
Oh, people are chiming in with West Ham.
Yeah, settle on
Oh,
West Ham, maybe
But
not. We'll see. But
how do you
definitely
get Arsenal
Manchester
fan? Be
United,
Arsenal fan.
not Man U. There's no way in heck you're going to find me there.
But how do you get an Arsenal fan?
Well, so the short story is a long time ago when I was in Army ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps at Michigan State. I wanted to be an artilleryman officer, so it was just a natural to pick a gunner.
Nice. The Gunners, yeah.
Nice.
Peter, love it. So we got the DE coming out, the safety razor. So I know you showed off. I know some people want that just popping in too. Wanted to show that off again so we can see it again.
Yeah, the new Primo.
Wow. So those of you folks who just popped in a little bit late, look at that.
And I saw it on an IG post. So you guys follow Sologent or Dovo, right? Make sure you follow them. And I think it was like one of the last 2 or 3 posts that have been up. And it's a gorgeous razor. Absolutely fantastic.
It is a looker.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it has this is the Primo 2 now. That's also one of the prototypes. So I have them before they're real, but this is with the big diamond mesh pattern. The Primo 1 has a finer mesh of diamond pattern. They have the same grip basically from the feeling. They're a bit not slippery, but I think my choice would be the Primo 2, so it's my favorite.
Nice.
That handle
I love
looks a little bit on the longer side. Is that true?
Yeah, it's about 10 centimeters, so about 3 inches.
Yeah, about 3.5, right around there.
Yeah. Nice. Also great for the lady shavers out there as well.
Yeah.
So
we had lots of ladies tested them yesterday. My girlfriend also uses a Primo. Happy with them, with that.
nice. I'll probably be seeing one in my den soon via my wife. So
No doubt.
she gets more stuff than I do. It's her den technically. I
You can
pay
buy
her.
2, then you don't have to explain why you buy 2.
Yeah. Oh no, I need
That's some smart thinking.
Buy the new razor.
Yes, but no, there's definitely one. So, and there's people out there too, like Peter. Like, yeah, I mean, that'll be great for head shavers too.
Yeah,
So,
Ken was just saying he'd be happy to test one for us.
yes, very happy to try one out for head shavers. So, but yeah, I don't have anything else, guys. You guys got anything else for Florian?
I'm just tickled to be a part of this and talking to a real pro.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on with us. This was awesome, and there's, like I said earlier, it's just great to see a company like Dovo. You know, it's been an iconic brand. Realize they've made some mistakes and then just turn it around and fix it up. Especially with the way wet shaving is going.
And
it's becoming increasingly popular. So to see, it's great to see a brand just step it up and step into this, into this market full steam again, instead of just resting on its laurels and just mailing it in, right?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's nice to hear. And I think we have lots of be coming out with new products, with a new chafette soon. So full titanium chafette. There's lots of new things also will enjoy it in the fan community, I think. So because when you create new products, it's yeah, creating them for yourself as well. So
Excellent. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Before I forget, I also heard that there's are now software besides hardware, correct?
correct, yeah.
For Dovo?
Yeah, we teamed up with Ariana and Evans. It's a US company. We talked with Peter and said, hey, we need help for that. And he helped us with making a soap and aftershave. And yeah, we have the pot is out of Portuguese stoneware, so and you have a corklet on it, so you can use it as also as a shaving bowl. And they're really great. So we have this one is called Deep Leather, also has beef tallow in it. So the fans know beef tallow has this ultra nice structure of fat, so it keeps the fat very nice and moistures the good slide for the shave, and also to wear it without that because it has a smell, to be honest. So
Yeah.
beef tallow, you have to love it.
Nice. Yeah, we are all very familiar with Peter's work. So
Oh, yeah.
we're very
Big
excited
fan.
to see that.
And that to me is just another thing that I think Dovo really did something smart with. I mean, I'm a straight razor shaver, Chevette shaver. I'm pretty particular in my soaps. Ariana Evans is one of my favorites, and it's nice to see a brand also be cognizant of the fact that, you know, once again, that's something you could have just mailed in. You could have gone with something like just some other mass-produced, okay quality soap, but you guys, you know, you have a premium product. You're going to pair it up with a premium software. I think it's genius. So.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's
Very excited to see what's on the docket for the rest of the for the future for Dovo. So yeah, we're very excited. So can't wait to hopefully see lots of that stuff appear here firsthand. So
yeah, you will receive it. I think you will have soon, I think.
yes,
Excellent.
yes, there's been teased about it, and it's so the enabling has definitely occurred. So
And
right.
I can I mention two highlights what we have. So we will show up the most expensive straight razor ever soon. So this will be highlighted. Yes, it's the craziest razor. Even yeah, it's really awesome to see. And the new Chevette also, as a new version of a Chevette, is also coming soon, with completely out of titanium, where you can with the Chevette you can switch the exposure of the blade, so you can make it from a safety razor feeling with the Chevette to a longer exposure of the blade, where you can have a more flexible blade for shaving, for example.
Ooh,
Also
No
on
kidding.
that's really awesome for the barbers out there, because they can go through and, do all the different kinds of lines and detail work and stuff like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll be checking that out for sure.
Right on. Well, folks, very excited about this. Very, very great time. Thank you, Florian, for coming on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. I know I was very happy to be on here. Thank you, J-Mac, as well.
My pleasure.
It's always a pleasure, to share the airwaves with you boys. But yeah, so like I said, we do this every Friday, 7:30 Eastern, here on the Razor Company. So we'll be able to do the Artisan Spotlight. It's just a big honor. And yeah, just been a great time getting to know you and getting to know, Dovo and get familiar, and also excited to see what's coming on. So it was a great time, and I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
That's right. All right, folks. You guys have a good night, and take care of each other. You guys have a good weekend. See you later.
You too.
Goodbye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.